Hi guys, so here is my review of two Code&Quill notebooks, a hardcover called The Origin and a softcover called The Traveler, which I was gracefully sent by Ronak Patel from Code&Quill. Code&Quill, which is a Kickstarter project which had great success on Kickstarter, and I found their project interesting because I am looking for a quintessential hardcover notebook which will be simple, effective, and with a nice design, and that's exactly what it is. So let's start with the Origin, which is the one I'm talking about in terms of success. So here you've got the presentation box. It's a notebook for creatives, and that's the point of their Kickstarter campaign and their product. It's meant for creators, considering the fact that creators consistently move from digital to analog in their way of doing things, and there's no way the digital system is enough in itself, and you have to move on from one to the other. And they say that creativity requires a more intimate form of medium than a keyboard, and I totally agree with this. And so they offer 192 pages, A5 size, larger than your regular Moleskine, but about the same size. And let's see how this would fit a creative mindset. Oops, sorry. So let's have a look at this. So on the box you receive it, and you've got the philosophy of Code&Quill. It's really meant for creative people. And what do they say that's interesting for you? Maybe, yes, the unique page layout, but we'll come back to this in presenting the notebook. They say it's a solid notebook. I totally agree. It looks very solid, and we're going to have a look at this. Also, their pages are acid-free, 100 grams per meter square. So that's actually nice paper. I will talk about that later. Not so much fountain pen friendly, but then we'll come to this as well. So let's put it aside and have a look at this notebook. The hardcover notebook I'm looking for is a simple design with a few original specs. And that's exactly what you get there. So it's a plastic cover, which is meant to look like a grainy leather. And it's actually quite nice. It looks nice, and it's actually quite strong, and it's very probably water resistant. I haven't tested this since I plan to use this notebook, but not in my not in water. They've got the Code&Quill little design, which is, I think, exactly what you need on a simple design notebook. Just a wee bit of originality, and there you have it. From the cover and from these Code&Quill element. That's actually quite nice looking, and it feels good in your hands. And here, see, the cover is quite thick. So it's actually, it does look like a very, very solid notebook. So let's have a look inside. You've got a red page, which is a reminder of the Code&Quill here. And you have a blank window in which you can say what the notebook is about or archive all the important information. And at the end you've got the same thing. No pocket in this one. I actually do not mind this since I hardly use the pockets, and when I do they usually break, so I no longer use them. It's a design that lies perfectly flat wherever you use it, and that's, I think, very important as a creative person, because when you move on from digital to analog, you will be using your notebook as a visual reference and then typing on your keyboard, and you really cannot do this. Okay, that's quite impractical. So this one works fine, and the lying flat design is something I absolutely look for in my notebooks. So what else is original in this notebook? Well, the paper is ivory paper, and on the left side you've got a dot design. That's actually a design I fell in love with. I like every type of design, the lines, the blank pages, the squared ones, each has its uses. But the blank page I find to be a bit difficult to write on, because as a lefty, I write vertically, and so I tend to move slightly to the side. Now with the points and the dots, I actually managed to write perfectly neatly in terms of size and lines, so I actually like that. On the other side, you've got those lines which can easily be turned into squares, and on which you can easily make proportion rated drawings. So that's actually very nice. On both sides you can actually write. This one is meant more to write on with the lines, but you can use both sides in a very versatile way. And I like the versatile choice of these papers. I think it's definitely more meant for creatives than designers, than writers. And also you can easily make your own measurements on this. It's actually quite nice. Okay, now let's go to the page on which I made my writing tests. So here's an example of something you can draw very quickly from the almost square design, but not as invasive as a completely square design on the right page. Now on the left page, you've got different inks. What I did is I started with an easy pen, easy ink, moved on to a stronger pen, easy ink, and then moved on to a stronger pen, stronger ink. This one, the Poussière de Lune from Giardin, is a very demanding ink, so you've got to have extremely good quality paper. I actually have a notebook that takes it very well, but this one, not so much. Okay, so here at the top you see there's hardly any show-through. It's actually quite nice, and if you go down, then the more demanding the ink, the less the paper can take it. But with a regular ink, it won't be a problem. It's only a problem with the Poussière de Lune, and the pen was moved a bit. I think it fell on the floor before I used it, so it was quite charged with ink. But anyways, what I have to say about this is that the paper is smooth and a bit grainy, which makes it nice for using your pencil. But it's actually still smooth enough that it'd be pleasant with the fountain pen. So it's actually quite smooth to write on it. I think the only problem is if you like to write with those inks. I actually write a lot with the Cacao du Brazil. So this one shows through a little. I don't mind a little show through, so that could be nice. But I actually love the overall design of this notebook. Definitely this one would enter my collection. With designing and creating objects or creating projects with leather or things like this, and less my writing collection. But still, I could use this one for writing too. But it's more designed towards making things, jotting down your ideas, and making schemes of it. But I actually like this. Okay, now let's move on to the other one, which is one I never expected to receive, so that's actually quite nice from Ronak. Thank you very much. And this one is the Traveler. I would define the Traveler as a lighter, soft version of this one. They are very much alike, except in the outer design, and I really enjoyed this one. And why? Because it's so soft and pliable. You have the impression to have only paper in your hands, and it's actually quite nice. And the cover is very smooth, and if you have a look at this, I can make marks and they will disappear. It's a smooth cover, very nice. I thought it was cardboard when I first saw this, but it's actually more like your Moleskine Leveret. Again, you've got a very simple, basic design, very soft, very pleasant to the touch, and this Code&Quill element, which makes it very nice, I think. I just love a touch of originality, and there you have it. Here, the red design, which is the same that you got in the Origin, which I like. I like this very neat, simple design, and then a flashy element of color, and that's nice. And for the rest, you've got exactly the same design as the other one. It stays flat. You've got the dots on the left and those special square lines on the right. And the paper is exactly the same. Nice quality paper, nice to write on, bit of show through. Actually, I pushed a lot on this one just to check, and there was a lot of show through on this one, but I did aggress it. And that's a nice little pair going together with this one. More transportable, as you see, very soft, can be put in the back pocket if you want to, like this. Very light foam and actually quite pleasant to the touch. Here you can see on the side the cover is actually rather thick. That's very nice, beautiful. So this is my review of these two notebooks. This one ranks in the $15 category, this one in the $20, so they come as fairly expensive notebooks if you compare them to others, but actually quite worth it, and I really like them. More designed towards designers, creators, but less, maybe less for writers, but you can still use it for that purpose. Very beautiful notebook. I will definitely think about it when I consider doing my top 5 hardcover notebooks, because it actually fits my opinion of what to look for in a quintessential hardcover notebook. So I hope you enjoyed this quite long video. I hope I managed to introduce you to this very nice notebook collection. You've got other colors. I actually like this gray, which is a slightly tenderer than the black, and they have 3 colors of each, if I remember well. I'm not sure about this, but you've got the link to the website. I'm going to put the link in the description box. Hope you liked it, and do not hesitate to put a like or leave a comment on the video. I try to answer them. I really like to have feedback from people, so do not hesitate to leave it.